Welcome back, my friends. My name is Byron. I'm from the BjjBrick podcast, and this is BjjBrick Q&A. Today, we've got a question about lower back pain and jiu-jitsu and it hindering progress on the mats. I am a fresh blue belt, age 40. Started jiu-jitsu late, but it has changed my life. My question is lower back pain normal when starting this? I'm assuming it's due to posture from the guard, etc. Injuries seem to be slowing my progress. I don't want to blame age, it's just a question. Thanks, love your vids. Kamran. Thank you for the question that was sent in via email to bjjbrick@gmail.com. Please continue to send in more questions. Lower back pain affects a lot of people, not just us grapplers. Fairly fresh blue belt, you say, so you've definitely had some time on the mats and you're finding yourself dealing with lower back pain, wondering if it's from the guard. I don't know if you meant being on top or being on bottom, but it really doesn't matter. If you suspect your back pain is from a portion of your jiu-jitsu, I would advise you to look at finding a way to slightly change what you're doing to avoid those situations. You said I think you said you're about 40. I'm 36 and I'm starting to feel the same effects. One of my big goals is to not have back pain when I'm on the mat. I don't want to deal with that. So I started keeping a pain journal last time I got injured with my back. I would say hurt, not injured, I guess. So it's just a journal you keep anywhere that you'll be able to find it and keep it handy. And anytime you have something that's more than a slight irritation or mild annoyance, you write it down. This will do a couple of things for you. If you have pain, say your lower right side of your back, you write down lower right side, and then you write down what you think you did to cause that, which I would say is probably a good guess. If you think it's from jiu-jitsu, or you think it's from sitting in a chair all day at work, or you think it's from bad posture. You probably have a good clue about what causes your back pain. And then write down maybe a severity level, and then so you write down the date, you write down exactly where in your body it is, and kind of describe the pain. And then hopefully over the course of a short amount of time, you're able to say pain ended on this date, or maybe give it an update in a couple of days. Pain's a lot less. A lot of times with lower back pain, it's hard to tie your shoes, it's hard to put on your socks, and those sorts of things. You might write that down. Started this date, difficulty tying shoes for the first 3 days. Now I'm doing that. And this will just help you kind of judge what you're dealing with. So if next time you hurt your back, you could go back to your journal, of course log it, but look at what happened last time to you. Look what remedies work. So you're also writing down, ice or heat, or laying flat on your back. Maybe you changed the way you sleep. Maybe a leave worked well for you, or ibuprofen was better for you. So you have all those notes there. It's really notes about yourself. So that's information that you can't find that online. That's really perfectly geared towards you. Now, for myself, with my goal of remaining healthy off the mat, without having to deal with back pain off the mat, that's one of my things I'm not really worried about. My shoulders or my knees, my hips, my lower back. I'm with you in the same boat. Sometimes it bothers me. I wish I've had a longer pain journal to be able to look back and see, is it always the same part of my back that's bothering me? Is it always the same thing I've did? I know from last time I was doing a triangle choke and got stacked, and I like my triangle choke. It's one of my favorite techniques. I've done a lot of triangle chokes from blue belt all the way up to black belt, and even at purple belt I was very proficient at the triangle choke. So now I'm looking at myself, time to not do so many triangle chokes. So I would say this year I haven't done any. It's we're almost into April, and I haven't done one triangle choke. And the opportunities have presented themselves, and I ignore them. And you don't even, when you become good at a technique, you don't need to wait for the opportunity to show up. You could create the opportunity. So I'm also not doing that. So I've changed the way I roll. I'm finding more omoplatas. I'm doing things a little differently. I'm maybe working on sweeps a little bit differently. But my goal isn't to get more chokes. My goal is to be healthy and have a productive off the mat life. So in that one triangle choke I did, I could do 20 triangle chokes and be fine. Number 21, I get stacked, and then maybe number 63, I get stacked and hurt my back. Well, I don't want anything to do with all 63 of those triangle chokes. I'd rather just do other things to have my main goal of being healthy stick with me. And so I urge you to write down what happened, what you think happened to your lower back. Consider making some changes. If you think that on the bottom you're playing guard, and maybe there's a couple of techniques that you're doing that's causing it, like it was for me, change those techniques or don't do them. And if you're on top and people are pulling you down and you're straining to get your posture back, I could see that bothering somebody's lower back. Well, you'll need to probably find a different way to pass. It's always good to have posture, but it's a little different than starting a technique like a triangle. You're choosing to enter into that position, and versus being pulled down and having your posture broken and trying to get back upright to have a good posture. You might try to find ways to do that without using your lower back muscles, putting limitations on yourself that way. And you might think, well, I'm a pretty new blue belt. I don't want to take away from my ability to roll. But really, these self-limitations that you put on yourself are going to be okay in the long run. You'll find ways around them. Ask anybody who is our age, and they're doing things differently for their own body. And it's not bad. It makes it more of an art form, not just a sport. It's really going to become your jiu-jitsu. You're really going to own the techniques that you do. And when somebody might pass a certain way or do a certain sweep, well, if that's not really a good option for you, you'll surprise somebody with a different thing that you've practiced and you've got good at. So Kamran, I appreciate the question. Definitely happy to get more from you or from anybody who's listening. Starting this, it's interesting to see what comes in. I'm happy to answer anything you guys send. There's always more information on the BjjBrick podcast. You can find that in iTunes or Stitcher Radio, or just go to BjjBrick.com. Lots of information there as well. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.